So I wanted to answer a question today. Could the narcissist read my mind? Could they read my mind? How did they understand all of those things about me? How did they seem to know things about me that sometimes didn't even make sense, almost seemed uncanny in their understanding of me or their ability to read me? It's like they could open my book and just read it from start to finish. How did they do that? How did they know all these things about me? It's a question I feel like comes up a lot, so I'm going to do my best to answer that today. The short answer is that no, the narcissist, this person could not read your mind. They do not have some special ability or power in and of themselves. But I believe that the spirit that the narcissist is operating under and is providing them information can read you, can read your mind. So you can think of it with the narcissist like they have a big tap, and that they take this tap and they tap it into your mind, they tap it into your heart, they tap it into your soul, and all the way down to the deepest part of you, which is your spirit. And so it's like they can tap into those things and they can read them. And so this can be really confusing because this really adds to that soulmate effect, because they seem to understand you so well, they seem to get you so well, to know things about you. Like, how did they even know that about me? I've never even told them that. How did they even know that about me? So they're able to understand things about you, your thoughts, your emotions, basically your soul, and also all the way down into your spirit. So this also, if you are a Christian or a believer, can be very confusing, because sometimes this can be used to spiritually manipulate you and to make you believe that God has placed this person in your life because they show signs and wonders, or they know things about your life, or they speak confirmation about things in your life that it seems like God has given them information about you. That's what it seems like. You know, if you're not a believer, it would seem more like the universe had brought you two together as soulmates and given them this deep understanding of you because you are always meant to be together. Or if you're a Christian, it may be that you feel like God has brought them into your life. They get you, they understand you like no one ever has, and that God has ordained all this and put this all in place. And it's because they're able to read your spirit. So it's similar to, if you'd like a Bible reference, it's similar to Acts chapter 16. There was a young slave girl who was following around Paul, I think it was. And she had what they called a spirit of divination, or a spirit of clairvoyance, the spirit of Python. And by that, she was able to use that gift, that spiritual gift that she had through that spirit. She was able to make a profit for her masters by fortune telling, by divination. And so when she saw Paul and the disciples, she was saying, these men, I can't remember the exact quote, but these men are sent by God and they're showing us the way to salvation. So she wasn't lying about that, right? Like, she was telling the truth. And so oftentimes with these spirits, they don't lead people astray with lies, they lead them astray with the truth. So a lot of these, like, fortune tellers or people who are operating under this spirit and are able to kind of like read people's futures or read their fortunes or understand things about them that don't make sense because they're given to them in a spiritual way. They don't lead people astray based on falsehood. They lead people astray with the truth. And what I mean by that is that they are able to speak truth over your life, and that's what gets people hooked or sucked in. So if you went to a psychic or a fortune teller and they just gave you some reading that had nothing to do with you, like if they didn't really know anything that was true about you or know your future, you're not going to give this person money. You're not going to keep going back. But the way that people get hooked in is because they are able to tap into some truth about you. And so people want to know more about it. And so they keep going and paying them. But the problem is that this person is not operating under the Holy Spirit. This person's not, may feed you some truth, but they also may feed you falsehood along with it, or they may use that truth to manipulate or deceive you. And so this is similar to what the narcissist does. So the narcissist uses their ability to understand certain truths about you to deceive you, to manipulate you, and to lead you on a path you don't want to go down. So it's like they're reading you, they're reading the truth about you. They can see into your mind, heart, soul, and spirit. And then they're feeding back truth to you, but they are also using that truth to deceive and manipulate you, to hook you in, and to mislead you. And this is part two, just kind of on a side note, why narcissists are drawn to people who are spiritual, because with that that they tap into you with, if you are more of a shallow person, there's not that much to feed off of. But if you are a deep person, meaning that you have a lot of spiritual life inside of you, then they can not only feed off of your soul, but they can feed off of that life inside of you. And so the spirit that they're operating under, it reads your spirit. So that's how they know things about you. And you may mistake it if you're not aware and think, God is showing them this about me. God is revealing this to them. And take it as a sign that they're the one that you're meant to be with. When the truth is that what they're really doing is reading your own spirit and what's already inside of your own spirit. They're reading that through this spiritual power and influence that they're under. They're able to read that. They're able to read your spirit, and that's what they're doing. They're not receiving it from the Holy Spirit. They're reading your spirit and tapping into that. And they're able to see and understand things about you in that way. So I hope that helps you to understand. If you would like any other information or any other questions answered about that, please leave a comment below. But again, check out Acts chapter 16. And that girl, by the way, you know how it goes. The girl follows Paul around and keeps saying, these are, servants of the Lord to show us the way of salvation. These are servants of and he eventually turns and says, and rebukes that spirit right out of her. And then her masters are angry because she can't tell the future anymore. So, that's how people do it. And I believe that the narcissist is operating under a spirit, a similar type of spirit that is able to read you. I hope that helps, guys. We'll talk later. Bye.